Hello, everyone. This is Pinky, and I have some update for you on the Sonya Massey case. And let me just say everything is alleged. This is my opinion. My opinion only. And this video is made for uh, educational use. Let me just go ahead and get into it. Make sure you all go ahead and hit that like button for me, if you can just do that. And now go ahead and get the video started for you all. And let me just make sure I got everything. All right, thank you guys. I'm just trying to make sure everything is set. Now, I do have some updates on it. You know, things are developing very quickly with this case. Is the update is the Sonya Massey autopsy do confirms a a a pow to the head. I'm just trying to say another word in place of it due to YouTube strict standards or certain things we cannot, certain words you cannot say. So I'm just going to say pow to the head. Okay. All right. And so it do confirms that. And we're going to go ahead and get into the case. And everybody should know who Sonya Massey is. This is the young lady. She still very young. Um, that is Sonya Massey that was unalived on July 6th. That's on a Saturday, July 6th of this year, by this deputy here. His name is Sean Grayson. Let me just make sure I pronounce that. Yeah, Sean Grayson. He was arrested after her fatal unaliving on July 6th. He was arrested July the 17th of 2024, as you can see on the mugshot. And this is a photo of the scene right before her unaliving. You can see where she's standing over in the kitchen, and the officer is over in the living area, divided by a Allen or a lone sink area. And she is still a big distance away from him. And then you cannot see, but there's another officer also in the room, in the area, standing near a doorway. And you can see the officer has his arm lifted with his hand on his pow. And you can see where it say in writing, I swear to God, I would effing shoot. Okay? And so you can see that. Let me just go ahead and get the information up for you. Today is July the 28th. Now, you see here, this is what the Associated Press, AP, and let me, Associated Press, and this is by John O'Connor and Rick Callahan. This was updated 4:27 p.m. Central Standard Time, July the 26th of 2024. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the information that we have coming. I know a lot of you all haven't seen or heard the information, so I'm going to go ahead and start it here. Autopsy confirms Sonya Massey unalived from a pow wound to the head, as attorney calls shooting senseless. Now this is a scene, but this is a different scene with his arms raised. You can see the officer with his arms raised, both hands on the pow, pointing toward Sonya. And you can see, if I don't know whether you can see it very clearly, but you know how when you get afraid or somebody scare you, or you're fearing, you hunch up your shoulders, and you can see it looks like her that shoulder, which is the one toward us, is hunched up. And you still don't see the other officer, but he is near the other officer. Okay. Now, this is in Springfield. Autopsy findings released Friday on Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old black woman, fatally shot in her Illinois home by a now fired sheriff department, charged in her death, confirmed that she died from a pow wound to the head. Okay. Instead of saying pow wound to the head, I'm just going to spell it out for you. The report was released shortly before civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is representing Massey's family, denounced the unaliving by ex-sheriff deputy Sean Grayson as senseless, unnecessary, and excessive. Sangamon County coroner Jim Allman had previously disclosed initial findings of Massey's July 6th unaliving in Springfield, and the full autopsy report released Friday confirms those conclusions, including that her unaliving was homicide. In addition to the bullet striking her just below the left eye, Massey had minor blunt force injuries to her right leg, the autopsy said. Now, this is something new here, guys. I have been following the case, and I have not heard anything about the right leg. So there's a blunt force injuries. Blunt force injuries. It didn't say one. It said injuries to her right leg. Now, I wonder why would that be? Because in the video, it did not show when she was alive, sitting on the couch, walking around, nudging to the kitchen, removing the pot off the stove. There was no mention of a leg. Now she got injuries to the right leg. Question. Alarming. Now, I would like to know, when did that happen? Did it happen after the unaliving? And if so, why? How and why? Okay, let me get on. Grayson, who is white, has pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, aggravated battery with, I didn't mean to say that word, firearm and official misconduct charges in Massey's unaliving. He was fired last week by the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office and has been jailed without bond. So without bond, meaning he is still there, guys, locked up. Okay. Crump, at his third news conference this week since the body cam video was released Monday, used an enlarged diagram from the autopsy that showed the bullet exit on her lower neck in a downward trajectory. Now, I will be showing that in the next video. Okay, that enlarged diagram. I will be showing that by the family attorney. Okay, that he said emphasized the physical mismatch between Massey and the much larger Grayson, who fired on her because he said he felt threatened by a pan of hot water she was moving from the stove. Now he said emphasized the physical mismatch between Massey and the much larger Grayson, who fired on her because he said he felt threatened by a pot of hot water She was moving from her stove. Now, when I saw the video, she had already moved the pot from the stove. There was a sink area there on the counter, right? She was down, getting down. She said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I think that was the quote. And then at one time, as I can remember, her hand was raised as she was ducking down or something. So if your hands are in the air, how can you have a hot pot of hot water in your hands? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out. If you got your hands in the air and you're ducking behind the counter, how can you have your hands? How, I don't know. Okay, so that's what we're going to figure out. That's the thing. Okay, when and everything is alleged. This is just my opinion. I'm trying to put piece together. Okay, when Sonya Massey was staring at the barrel of his pow pow, gun, she stooped down, saying, "Sorry, sir, sorry," and the bullet was shot while she was in this stoop position. Coming up, Crump said, the autopsy confirms what everybody already knows, that this was just a senseless, unnecessary, excessive use of force. Grayson is 6 feet 3 inches and 228 pounds. The autopsy lists Massey at 5 feet 4 inches and 112 pounds. Prosecutors have added that the distance between the shooter and the victim and a counter between them gave Grayson distance and relative cover from the hot water. That's what I thought. Autopsy said Massey had called 911 to report a suspected prowler. Two deputies eventually showed up at her home in Springfield, about 200 miles southwest of Chicago. The video confirmed prosecutors' early account of the tense moment when Grayson yelled across a counter at Massey to sit down, a pot of hot water, aiming his 9mm pistol at her and threatening to shoot her in the face. He fired 3 times. He fired 3 times, guys. The the unidentified deputy with Grayson then said he would get his medical kit, but Grayson said, "She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. There's nothing you can do, man." He later relented while the second deputy held towels to Massey's head to try to stem the bleeding. But by the time Grayson returned with his medical kit, emergency medical professionals had arrived. And when they told Grayson his help wasn't needed, he threw his kit on the floor and said, "I'm not going to waste my medical stuff then." Seemed like he got bad attitude. Bad attitude. Just my opinion. Massey struggled with mental illness, according to her family. Her son, 17 years old, Malachi Hill Massey, said Friday that he and his 15-year-old sister had moved in with their father because Sonya Massey had admitted herself to a 30-day inpatient program in St. Louis sometime during this week before her unaliving, but returned 2 days later without explanation. Malachi Massey also said that on July the 5th, the day before the early morning shooting, law enforcement officer whom he thought was from Sangamon County were called to the house and were there when he arrived. But then his mother had called him to say she was driving herself to a local hospital, apparently for mental health treatment. He said he doesn't know he doesn't he said he doesn't know who called police or what happened. Oh, no, he said he doesn't know who called police or what help she was seeking that day. Okay, he said he don't know who called the police or what help she received that day. Okay. The Associated Press had asked local law enforcement agencies for record of the July 5th call. Callahan reported from Annapolis. Okay, guys. Okay, I will be doing an update on the autopsy. Okay, I will be doing an update, and I do want to thank you all for being here, and also thank you all for hitting that like button. If you can go ahead and hit the like button for me, I will appreciate that. All right, guys, and this is Sonya Massey. Say her hashtag, say her name. Hashtag Sonya Massey. All right. Thank you, guys. You all have a wonderful evening. I'll be dropping the next video out for you so we can all stay up to date. You all have a good evening. Bye-bye.